lot of times, it becomes very difficult to forgive our mothers and our fathers sometimes. And it's because of things that they fail to do, them being there or not being there, or whoever they was, whether they was too strict or not. I mean, it's just so many different reasons why, we would find ourselves thinking about our parents and have maybe ill thoughts about them, or some of us don't even deal with our parents. Some of us has totally disowned our parents. Some of us, can don't want nothing to do with our parents. And I mean, I've even heard people talk so bad about their father or their mother, because of whatever the reason is, whether the parent abandoned them, whether the parent failed to protect them in the right way, whatever it is, we were totally disowned for it, right? And now, mind you, when a parent fails to protect a child and something happens to the child, and the child grows up with all type of difficulties as a result of the parent failing to protect the child, right? Now, I'm talking about physical protection, because that protection can go mentally, spiritually as well. But I'm talking about the physical protection, right? Which affects all that, but the physical protection. When the parent fails to physically protect, right? Then the child grows up with so many different challenges and difficulties, and the child totally blames the parent. Now, I believe rightfully so. It is the parent's fault for not protecting that child, without a doubt. But here's the thing. Again, for each and every individual, we must carry our own burdens. And whenever, however we deal with creation, however we deal with God's creation, however we deal with the next human being, whether it be parent or child, right? However way we deal with them, in our minds and in our hearts, it weighs on us personally. And then what ends up happening is that we take that weight and we carry it through life. And as we interact with other people, sometimes we unintentionally shift that weight on other people whenever we come into their world. Or it's like we become so heavy that whenever whenever we step into somebody else's world, it's like we're putting also who we are as well as everything that we're carrying onto the person. And a lot of times, I particularly have heard like women say, I'm a broken woman, I need a strong man, only a strong man can deal with me. Maybe so. If you're talking about you want somebody to carry you and all of that weight, definitely. Yeah, but it's not my other view on that is that it's not that it's a weak man if he doesn't. He has chosen what he wants to deal with and what he does not want to deal with, because the true responsibility belongs to the person that's carrying that weight. And is that when you know that you are broken, whether it be man or woman, when you know that you're broken, when you know you're hurting, when you know you need some healing, it's your responsibility to work on you. And it's not right for you to place that burden on someone else and then blame them for not being able to carry it. Criticize them or talk down on them for not being able to carry your burden. You know what I'm saying? Because again, mind you, every individual has their own burden. And so you want an individual to carry their burden that they're dealing with and your burden. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not fair, right? So now, my main piece is what my main point is. I'm talking about, how we can, become ill with the parent, right? From my own personal experience and my own personal journey, I had at one point reached the point where I totally had disowned my mother and my father. I felt they failed me. I felt that their life was, the BS part of their lives, all of that selfish shit that they was into. I felt like that you made that more important than me. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, I had totally written off that you don't even exist to me no more. And then so it come along a time where, while I was incarcerated, I had realized that it was still times that even my mother in her sickness, she would sometimes try to write. she would still sometimes try to send me money, even in her sickness, right? Even though these moments was very rare. It wasn't they're very rare. That was very far in between times that it happened. However, it still happened over the course of time that I was there. And she even had tried to come see me, I think like about twice during the whole time. But here my whole point is that I realized that some brothers didn't even have that. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers didn't have nobody. Nobody at all. And here's the thing that really helped me though. Because I began to appreciate that. But the biggest thing that done it for me is I had read a book by Iyanla Vanzant, and I want to say the book was titled The Spirit of a Man. I want to say that was the name of the first book I read by her. And in that book, she was talking about her son and how her son had ended up incarcerated, and her son had written her a letter. And his letter, see, this was when she was just trying to get into the whole life coaching field or sphere, but she I don't even know if it was called that at the time. However, she was just getting into that, but again, she had been through so much physical and mental and emotional abuse that she herself hadn't even totally got past that. And so I remember when he wrote her that letter, he was blaming her for him being incarcerated and everything else. And when I just get verbatim about the letter, I don't want this to be long, I'm really trying to narrow this talk down some. But she wrote him a letter. So both letters was in there. And it's one thing that she said. She said, I don't know why God chose to send your spirit through my vessel. I don't know why he chose, because at the time that he chose to do so, I was still a little girl dealing with all types of mental and emotional and physical abuse myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with me, basically, And so that when you came into creation, I didn't know how to be your mother because I didn't know how to love me yet. You know what I'm saying? So that resonated so strongly with me, because one thing I realized with those words was that everybody is going through something, Everybody has went through something. Everybody is going through something. You know what I'm saying? And my mother didn't reveal some stuff, to me since I've been home, but again, not to make any of what we go through an excuse to continue a path. It is only to try to give some understanding of why you kind of operate the way you do, right? But it's never to be an excuse why you continue to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Once you know what you've been through and know what you got to do, what you've been through can't continue to be the reason. It can't continue to be the excuse. Something else, because you choose to allow it to remain the reason, is something else now that is the real reason, and that is only an excuse that you're using. You feel what I'm saying? But my thing is this here. When looking at our parents, we must understand that our parents, it was us. Just like we going through what we going through, and we look at our parents the way they do, trust and believe that they went through some stuff and they looked at the parents the way they looked at them. This is the ongoing cycle. Life didn't just begin with your parent and me. You know what I'm saying? Like our parents and us. You know what I'm saying? Life didn't begin like that. So it began way back, and the human species have been trying to figure it out and put it together a long time ago. So when we looking at our parents and we having these ill things about our fathers, our mother for what they don't do that we feel they should do, or we feel that, or whether they really were supposed to do it. Like I said, protection. It's some things that they really without a doubt were supposed to do, and it's something we just feel like you should be doing. But that ain't necessarily what, that don't make a parent. You know what I'm saying? Like going buying you Jordans or going buying you every iPhone that come out, that don't have nothing to do with being a parent. You know what I'm saying? So, but sometimes some kids will put that in the category. Well, my mom, my dad, they ain't shit because they don't do this, that, and other. Because they comparing what other kids got versus what they got on that level. You know what I'm saying? You got everything you need, but because you don't have everything you want to, you want to complain. You know what I'm saying? So, just with that being understood, always understand and know that your parent is a human just like you and have been through many different things too, and probably far worse than what you have been through. So as a child, we look up to our parents as well as those children that's coming up under us. Man, know that your parent is not going to always be, do everything right. They're not going to always have the right answers. They're not always going to do what you want them to do in the way you feel like it should be done. But know and believe that your parent has been through some stuff, man. And your parent is trying to do the best they can sometimes. For those parents that are trying, that your parent is trying to do the best they can sometimes. And young people, you have to understand and know that. And you have to still appreciate the fact that you have that parent that's still striving for you and doing what they can for you and trying to represent for you. And again, parents, stop frowning down on these kids, because we the reason why those kids like they are. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you had your own kids. And if your kids are not like that, if your kids, let's just say your kids don't wear their pants off their ass, right? Just because your kid don't do that, it might be, don't look at like your kid perfect or your kid better than the other kid because that kid do wear his pants off his ass, because it may be something that kid has also that your kid don't have. You know what I'm saying? That one can say, well, at least my kid don't do this, your kid do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily about that. The thing is that all we can do is be grateful for how our young people turn out. And we can strive hard to try to do our best to make sure they come out a certain way. But however they come out, we have to keep trying to correct them, keep trying to improve them and all that, right? But I'm saying there's another piece that you only can do so much. And the rest, man, that's their journey. They have to figure it out too. You know what I'm saying? Your real obligation is to impart to those young people knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. To share the information that you've collected over your life journey, to take all of that understanding, that information, and pour that into your child. That is your main divine obligation to your child. That is your main divine parental obligation to your child. So with all that being said,